How's it going, guys? Brother Crypto here with a review of Oyster Pearl. So let's get straight into it. Oyster Pearl is a very interesting project, but right now I'm very 50-50 on it, and here's why. So Oyster Pearl, like many of us, are dead set against the conventional ways of advertising on the internet. They don't like all these ads we see on web pages, and they believe that they have created an alternative solution in offering websites a way of generating income. So how will it work? Websites will add a line of code to their website, so when a visitor visits their website, they will dedicate a small portion of their computer CPU, said to be around 3 to 5%, which will help run Oyster Pearl's anonymous file storage platform. So Oyster Pearl are essentially a two-part project. They offer website owners an alternative way of making money online, and they are challenging the likes of Google Drive and Dropbox, offering an anonymous file storage platform. So on face value, this seems like an amazing project that everyone should want to get on. But let's dig a little deeper on how everything will actually work. The question that needs to be asked from an investor's point of view is, can a project like Oyster Pearl ever become mass adopted? And I don't believe it can personally, and here's why. So firstly, let's look at how it works from a website owner's perspective. For them to use Oyster Pearl, they have to add an authorization box on their website, similar to those cookie authorization boxes that you see. The user will have to accept or reject the use of Oyster Pearl on that website. Now, will big companies want to be adding this authorization box on their site? Probably not. It's going to take away from the aesthetics of their website, and whilst it may only be small, I can't see them wanting to do it. So, whether website owners like this or not, I don't know. That's for your opinion. Okay, so how will website owners actually make money? The CPU used from their visitors will look for PRLs in what will be called a treasure hunt. Website owners aren't guaranteed to find any PRL. However, if they do, at the minute, the only way to sell it is through exchanges. How will big companies feel about this? I don't think they'll like it at all. I don't even think some of the smaller websites will like it, having a small chance of actually finding any PRL, then having to sign up to an exchange, sell it for Bitcoin or Ethereum, and then sell that on for actual real money currency. Well, that's the only way of currently doing it at the minute. Whether that changes in the future, I don't know. We'll have to see. There's also many variables as to whether a visitor will be using their CPU. For example, if they had loads of tabs open, we don't know how it will work in terms of will the user be dedicating a small amount of CPU to each website or just the one they're actually on. Those sorts of finer details have not yet been outlined by Oyster Pearl. We're supposedly told that users shouldn't be worried about it slowing down their computer because Oyster Pearl have technology called fragile loop, and this detects whether the computer of the user is slow, and if it is, it won't use any CPU. So whilst Oyster Pearl are selling the product as a way of replacing advertising, in reality, there's nothing stopping website owners doing both, and in reality, they will. I think Oyster Pearl's more there to say to website visitors, look, we're not going to be advertising on this website, so allow us to use your CPU instead. However, with no guarantee of actually finding any PRL, the likelihood is websites will just use Oyster Pearl and advertising at the same time. Now let's quickly look at Oyster's storage system. We already have sites like Google Drive offering 100 gigabytes of storage for only a couple of dollars a month. And there's no indication, and Oyster Pearl have said there's no guarantee that their service will be any cheaper. So what makes Oyster Pearl different? Oyster Pearl offer a fully anonymous file storage service which is completely decentralized. But in reality, how many people will actually care about that point? And I'm talking the masses across the world, guys. From an investment point of view, that's the way of thinking you need to think. How many people will want to actually get on board with Oyster Pearl? And also, the current process for Oyster Pearl isn't the easiest for your standard user. Right now, you would have to buy PRL from an exchange like KuCoin, transfer that PRL to your Oyster web interface, and then upload your files, which you would be charged for per file. Now, it's not the most simple process for the user to follow. Websites like Google Drive offer a much easier and user-friendly feel. So will users want to get on board where they'll have to sign up to exchanges to buy PRL? Probably not. There's also a lot of concern that the service can be used wrongfully and could lead to the next torrent sort of website. There's nothing stopping that from happening, however, it is illegal and it could lead to your ISP blocking Oyster-linked sites, and it could lead to Google creating an Oyster blocker within their browser. Oyster Pearl already have the worry that ad blocker will create extensions to stop Oyster Pearl. The last thing they need is a stigma that the network will be used for illegal activities. If this does happen, the big companies will definitely keep as far away from Oyster Pearl as possible. So let's talk about how the cost of the storage will be calculated. Oyster Pearl have said one PRL will always buy you at least 64 gigabytes of storage a year, and this number is only going to increase. Now, what does this mean from an investor's standpoint? What this means is that the cost of one PRL can never be too high, else Oyster Pearl won't be able to stay in competition with the likes of Google Drive. Oyster Pearl have said themselves that they need the cost of one PRL to always remain reasonable, and they've created an ecosystem which will ensure this is always the case. Website owners are going to be earning PRL, and they're always going to want to sell it as this will be their source of income. This cycle itself should keep PRL at a reasonable price, and that's what will make Oyster Pearl happy. So if you're expecting one Oyster Pearl to go through the roof in terms of price, then you're wrong, I'm afraid. So do I think Oyster Pearl is a good project? Of course I do. Do I think it's one that will make investors lots and lots of money? No, I don't. But is there money to be made? Yeah, there definitely is. One Oyster Pearl costs around $1.20 right now, I believe. They just had a 10 million PRL coin burn yesterday. This will help in the long-term future. This will definitely increase the price later on. I do think at a price like 120, it's good to get on now. I definitely believe there's money to be made. But for all you guys that are looking for coins that could potentially skyrocket, Oyster Pearl is not that coin. I would set a limit on when you want to sell, and when it hits that limit, I would definitely sell. So that was my review, guys, of Oyster Pearl. I hope you learned something. I hope you took something away from it. Remember, guys, before investing in any coin, always do your own research. Subscribe to my channel for more reviews like this. Please like the video. Comment below. If you have any coins you want me to do a review on, please comment below as mentioned. Guys, this has been Brother Crypto. Have a good evening, have a good morning, afternoon, whatever time it is. This has been Brother Crypto, over and out.